Hey guys, so I came up with a new way of writing. Yesterday, I was in my bed trying to sleep. It was like, I don't know, 1 a.m. And I was awake for like 2 hours thinking, why do we, why do we write from left to right? Or why do some other cultures write from right to left? Like, I don't know, Arabic cultures and stuff like that. Or why do like Japanese people sometimes write from like up to down? Thought this is pretty interesting. There must be like at least some cultural value to all of this, but that's not what I'm gonna get into. I was thinking, why is it so inefficient when you're writing left to right? Because I've always had this issue. Maybe it's just my issue, but I hope everyone else has it. I'm not trying to prey on your downfall, but I hope everyone else has it, because if not, then this doesn't make any sense. So when you're reading big paragraphs, let's say in a book where there's like really long lines and really thick paragraphs, sometimes something that happens to me is that I'm reading, and then instead of like restarting, like going down a line and reading, going down a line and reading, I accidentally start reading the same line again. I don't know how to explain it, but like, let's say I'm reading this line. I don't know if the camera is mirrored, I hope it is. So I'm reading here, dun 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 dun, and then I have to go down and read here. But I accidentally read over here because I'm in the middle of a big thick paragraph, so it's kind of hard to tell where I'm reading. I hope everyone in the house has this issue. Yeah. And I came up with a new idea. First, to make reading more efficient, also writing, because let's think, when you're writing, and then you have to take your hand all the way back here to start a new line. And also, when you're writing from left to right, it's easier for right-handed people to write because they don't smudge up the ink and everything. And I've always thought that's very unfair, because even though people who write with their left are less common, they're still people, you know, you gotta think about that. And they have to like cope with smudging their ink every, I don't know, few letters, or they have to develop some way to not do it, like to not smudge it up. And so here is where my idea comes in. So here's my idea. I made a graph so that you can kind of see what I'm trying to propose. So you start writing from left to right, and then you go down, and you start writing from right to left. And you go down, left to right, down, right to left. And here is where it kind of makes sense with the writing. So it says, hello, this is my idea to reinvent writing. It's kind of confusing at first, but makes sense once you get the hang of it. So as you can see, it starts here, hello, this is my idea, dun, dun, dun. Then it goes down, writing, it's kind of confusing, and you know, you just go reading like that. I had quite a few ideas, and originally when I tried to do it, I also inverted the letters, but then I realized that's way too hard and would basically make it so that dyslexic people can't really read anything at all if we adopt this new great way of writing. Which if we did adopt this new way of writing, I will tell you, society would advance probably like 10 times more. Because think about it, think about the amount of time you spend either when writing or reading, just going to the next line. So let's say we drew like the visual line your eye makes when you're reading. It would be like this. Let me just sketch it up. It would be like this. So you start reading, then you have to go down to restart the next line, and boom, and down, like that. But with my idea, it's like there's the amount of space that you lose is a lot lower. Like I already have the graph made, this one, instead of having to go backwards all this space, just go down like an inch. It's pretty genius, I'm not gonna lie. And it's applicable to basically every language there is. So let's say in Arabic, they start writing from right to left. But then when they go down, they should go left to right. You know, it kind of makes sense. Or in a language where it's written from the top to the bottom, you wouldn't have to want to go to the top again to start reading the next line, the next column, I guess. No, you would just go right and then start reading from the bottom to the top. And it kind of makes like a snake like the game type pattern. And honestly, I think it might be one of my best inventions yet. It might be. But yeah, tell me what you guys think.